The Canadian Cancer Society does tell us that about 4 in 10 cancer cases at the population level are preventable through lifestyle changes and population level policy.
Welcome to the Anticancer Toolkit series, where we discuss everything from nutritional sciences to healthy habit building to policy making, all to help equip you with actionable knowledge on cancer prevention through nutrition. That brings us to our guest here today. Could you briefly introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth Farku. I'm a resident physician in internal medicine at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston, Massachusetts.
Currently, what are the best evidence-based recommendations on alcohol consumption and cancer prevention?
When it comes to cancer prevention, the best recommendation that we can give people is actually to avoid alcohol completely. And the reason for this is that alcohol is a group 1 carcinogen. And what that means is that alcohol is known to cause cancer in humans. And it's the same class as things like cigarettes or UV tanning beds. But we recognize that many people will choose to consume alcohol. And so for those who choose to consume alcohol, we'd recommend to keep the risk of an alcohol-related cancer low, to limiting to no more than 2 standard drinks per week.
And so you and your colleagues recently wrote a few reviews on how well federal and provincial and territorial policies align with the best practices and what we know what the best recommendations should be. So could you talk a little bit about what you found and what you wrote in those reviews?
So I'm involved in something called the Canadian Alcohol Policy Evaluation Project. And what we do is we really look at the evidence for alcohol policies. And we look at what are the best alcohol policies in terms of their ability to prevent harms at the population level. We then rank the policies and we create a rubric that we use to score the Canadian jurisdictions. And through that, we determined that actually most Canadian jurisdictions are not doing too well when it comes to alcohol policies. There's pretty poor uptake of the best alcohol policies that are known to prevent harms, really in every province and territory and also at the federal level.
So based on your experience, what is kind of the biggest barrier to people following the best practices for cancer prevention?
Probably just this belief that cancer is inevitable. I think lots of people feel like, well, if I'm going to get cancer, I'm going to get cancer and there's nothing I can do about it. And while it's certainly true that many cases of cancer don't have a clear etiology, and certainly no one should ever be blamed for a cancer diagnosis, the Canadian Cancer Society does tell us that about 4 in 10 cancer cases at the population level are preventable through lifestyle changes and population level policy. And so I think trying to reframe that there are things you can do to prevent cancer, and while it's certainly not 100% guarantee that you won't get cancer if you do all the right things, I think it's important for people to realize that they do have power in cancer prevention, and there are things that you can do today to change your cancer risk.